Good morning, Fairmount readers. It's Miss Karen here. It's Tuesday morning at 9:30 and I'm just coming back from my vegetable garden. Look at my basket. I filled it up with vegetables. They're ready to harvest. That means pick. Come on and join me for some garden fun this week. Let's wait for our other readers to start watching the video. If you're here, make sure you comment so Miss Karen knows you're watching, singing, and reading with us. We'll wait a couple minutes before I show you what's in my vegetable basket. I have beautiful flower garden behind me too. Sometimes gardeners grow flowers, vegetables, or both. We'll talk about that when we start story time. While we're waiting for our other friends, let's talk about the farmers market. There is one more week of the Fairmount Farmers Market. Make sure you come on down from 4 to 7 and see Miss Brenda, Miss Karen, and I, and say hi. Bring your reading log down so you can get some cool prizes for our youngest readers and our older readers. So make sure you keep filling those reading logs out and come on down to the Fairmount Farmers Market on Mondays from 4 to 7. Also, make sure you are checking out our YouTube channel. It's posted on our Facebook page. We have a lot of cool activities from Miss Jessica's theme weeks for summer learning, but also Miss Karen is posting some brain boosting activities that you can do quick, simple with toddlers or preschoolers. I kind of give different options of different activities that you can do, so make sure you check those out to keep our brains sharp over the summer. And make sure you are reading so many great books week after week all summer long. It's almost August, so we want to finish our great summertime story times, and we have a lot planned in the fall, so I want you to stay tuned for our story times and everything else we're doing at the Fairmount Library. So I think some more readers have joined us, and if you just joined us, Miss Karen just picked up her vegetables from her vegetable garden. Let's see what kind of produce, that means fruits and vegetables, that I picked from my garden today. Well, the first thing that was ready for picking was my cucumber. Look at how big this got, my cucumber. We know there's seeds inside. I can peel it and eat it. I have a cucumber. Next thing I want to show you that I picked is my squash, yellow squash. Sometimes people like eating this on the grill, yellow squash. Something else that was ready in my garden, it is part of the squash family. It is a zucchini. Zucchini, who loves zucchini? It's a favorite summer vegetable. A lot of people have zucchinis in the summer. And what's interesting about zucchini plants are they are huge. They take up a lot of room in the garden. Something else that I picked from my garden are green beans. Who likes green beans out there? I like green beans. You can have them raw, which means not cooked, and they're nice and crunchy after you wash them. Or sometimes people like to steam them and they get a little softer. So here's green beans, and it's neat because green beans grow up the vine. They kind of have little hands that if you put a fence on the vine, they kind of crawl and grow up that vine. So we have green beans, and one more thing that I have in my basket that I picked are carrots. They're baby carrots, but baby carrots are great for a snack, and carrots grow under the ground. So I got some carrots. So I today got so much produce from my vegetable garden. Today we're going to be reading about gardens, singing a neat song about gardens, showing you a neat craft that you can do about gardening. So come and join me. Okay, so I'm going to put my basket right next to me. What I want to start with today is sometimes we start with a little poem or a rhyme, but today what I want to start with is our story. Because after our story, we're going to start making our own garden with our garden song. So, Miss Karen always shows you some books that I love picking out at the Onondaga Libraries, and this week is all about gardening, so I want to show you some of my favorite gardening books. Let's see. Our first one is maybe for our younger readers, and our first one is called In My Garden. And this is a counting book. So if your child is beginning to recognize numbers or that one-to-one matching, this is a great book, very bright illustrations, and big enough pictures where you can, with your child, do one-to-one matching. So this is called In My Garden by Ward Shoemaker. Okay, that's a cute one. See the watering can on the front? Another one, another favorite that I have of my gardening collection is another young nonfiction. Last time I talked about that it's good for your child to hear fiction, storybooks, and also nonfiction, real information that they can learn something from. So I have a great one about sunflowers. It is almost sunflower season here in central New York. So sunflowers, this is an easy reader, very short text, not too many tricky science words, and beautiful photographs that shows how a seed becomes a sunflower. So this is by Gail Smith, Sunflowers. Another one, and maybe you fixer-upper fans would love this for you and your child to read together, called We Are the Gardeners. And this book is by Joanna Gaines. Chip and Joanna Gaines, they're very popular for home renovations, but they have a beautiful garden at their house, and they actually wrote this with their children. Their 5 children you could see on the cover. And so Joanna and her children wrote this, all about their how a garden grows, what hard work it is to grow a garden. So check this one out too. We have another one here, and actually this would probably match my beautiful blue hydrangeas behind me. This is Zinnia's Flower Garden. This is a great one, and I like the illustrations because it is drawings, but also the illustrator added real life photographs of the garden in here. So she kind of included it in her drawings. So this is by Monica Wellington, Zinnia's Flower Garden. Okay, and actually zinnia is a type of flower, and this little girl, it's all about growing a garden, and we're going to start with this one today. But after that, before we read that one, I want to show you another. This might be a favorite character for all of us, Paddington Bear. And Paddington Bear is in the garden. Maybe some of your children have seen the TV show Paddington Bear, so this would be a great connection, bringing a book, Paddington Bear in the Garden. And Paddington also learns what tough work it is to grow a garden. Okay, and we have one more that might show up later this week, and this one is called In the Garden, Who's Been Here? And this is a very popular one, and it's by Lindsay Barrett George. In the Garden, Who's Been Here? And this is kind of a guessing game story, almost like when we read a couple weeks ago during our beach theme, How Will We Get to the Beach? This is similar, where you read the clues and then the children get to guess who is in the garden. So check this one out. This one's great. It's a different structure. It's not just a story. It's where the children have to make predictions, and we know as readers that that's an important skill for comprehension, predicting what the characters or something will happen in the story next using the clues. So check this one out. But I do want to go back to Zinnia, and at the beginning when Miss Karen showed you her produce basket, I talked about that gardeners can grow maybe a flower garden or a vegetable garden. And in this story, Zinnia's Flower Garden, she decides to grow a flower garden. And that goes right with my blue hydrangeas back there. So this is a perfect story for today. Okay. Spring has arrived. Zinnia is getting her garden ready for planting. She digs up the soil and turns it over with her shovel. She takes out stones and rakes the dirt smooth. The warm sun feels good as she works. Zinnia carefully plants many kinds of flower seeds in rows. She covers the seeds with dirt and pats it all down very gently. She sprinkles the ground with water. So I noticed that the writer is talking about the steps in growing the garden. You see the seed? She's planting the seeds. Zinnia waits for the seeds to sprout. The seed needs the sun to shine, the rain to fall, and many days to pass. It is hard to wait so long for her seeds to grow. That is the hardest part. These the vegetables that I pick, I have been waiting months and months, and you feel pretty proud when you get to pick your first vegetable or flowers. Every day, Zinnia checks her garden to see if anything has happened. Look, the first seedling is poking its way up through the dirt. Where is that? There it is. What color is the seedling? Green. Now, Zinnia's garden is full of green sprouts growing toward the sun. Little stems growing taller. Little leaves get bigger. Little roots burrow deeper into the earth. And if you notice right here, here's the sequencing picture. How they start, and the roots are getting longer, and the plants are growing up. Look at Zinnia. We could talk about the characters' faces too. Zinnia is so excited she's finally seen something bloom. Zinnia takes care of her garden every day. When the sun is hot and the soil is dry, she waters her thirsty plants. How many of you like watering? That's one of my favorite parts, watering. I get the hose, my daughter likes spraying everything else, and I like to water the plants too. She pulls up pesky weeds that try to crowd out her plants. She inspects them for greedy bugs. She measures how tall her strong and healthy plants are growing. Every day, they get bigger and bigger and bigger. First thing in the morning, Zinnia runs out to check her garden. She is excited to see little buds growing on many of her plants. There they are, and if you notice, it is a real photograph of plants. And then at last she finds what she has been waiting for, the first flower. One bud has bloomed. How beautiful, and what a sweet smell. There are many more buds that will open soon. There it is. What color is the first bud that's blooming? It is purple, yes. And if you notice over here, throughout the entire book, Zinnia writes a journal entry. She's keeping a garden journal that sometimes gardeners write down to see how the plants are growing. So this is her garden journal. The garden grows and grows with blooming flowers. Zinnia paints, reads, and picnics among them. Butterflies flutter, bees buzz. Zinnia's garden is her favorite place to be on these warm summer days. Wow, look at all the beautiful colors. Shout out, what's a color that you see in the flower garden? Yellow, I see yellow. Purple, pink, yes, so many colors like the rainbow. Her flowers are abundant, and Zinnia cuts some to arrange into bouquets. The fragrant scents of the flowers swirl around her in the warm breeze. And I like how Monica Wellington, the writer, she added the names of the flowers in Zinnia's garden. Sunflower, marigold, cosmos, snapdragon, zinnias, there they are. That's probably why they're her favorite, like her name. One hot summer day, Zinnia has a lemonade stand and puts up a sign, "Pick your own flowers." Customers come and gather bunches of flowers and drop money in her jar. Beautiful bouquets they're picking. In the autumn, as it gets colder, Zinnia picks the last flowers from her garden. She finds ripe seeds that have formed. They are ready to be collected. She will save them to plant next year. So we can talk about the changing seasons. How do I know it's fall? I see falling leaves, right? It's getting colder. The winter days are short, the sun is dim, and the ground is covered with snow. But Zinnia is already planning next year's garden. When spring comes, she will be ready to grow her very own flowers again. Wow, so I'm noticing gardening never stops. Even though she took care of it in the summer, she's planning for next year's garden. Wow, and on the back, or on the back page, Monica Wellington gave some tips on how to grow your own flowers, either in a pot or outside in a garden. Great story, readers. So this one is Zinnia's Flower Garden. And what did we learn about Zinnia? Well, we can talk about the characters. She is hardworking, right? She works so hard watering, pulling weeds, spending the summer outside of in her garden, and then in the fall and the winter, she was planning for next year's garden. Go Zinnia! Excellent. Well, I think, readers, it's time for us to sing a song about how we're gardeners. Whether if you plant a dandelion seed or dandelion, or blow the dandelion seeds into the air, or have a huge vegetable garden at your house, we can be gardeners too. So I want to teach you a song about gardening, and we're going to get a little movement in our body. And there's different motions to this song. This is a new song for me, so I'm going to be practicing with you. So let's stand up, and what we need is our gardening shovel. Let's get your shovels out. I got to grab mine. Let's stand up and do some motions with it. Okay, so we're going to sing about the gardener. We're the gardeners, and the first verse is we're going to dig the soil with our shovel. So get those shovels ready, and let's dig. The gardener digs the soil. The gardener digs the soil. Hi-ho, the dairy-o, the gardener digs the soil. Good digging. What does he do next? He has to plant the seeds. So put your seeds down. The gardener plants the seeds. The gardener plants the seeds. Hi-ho, the dairy-o, the gardener plants the seeds. Great. What do plants need? What is one thing plants need? Did I hear rain? Yes, they need water. So let's make rain fall on the ground. The rain falls on the ground. The rain falls on the ground. Hi-ho, the dairy-o, the rain falls on the ground. Excellent. What else do we need? They need rain. What else do gardens need? Sunshine, yes, let's bring out that big sun. The sunshine bright and warm, the sun shines bright and warm. Hi-ho, the dairy-o, the sun shines bright and warm. Wow! After rain and sun, the plants begin to grow. The plants begin to grow. Hi-ho, the dairy-o, the plants begin to grow. Now I see flowers all around. Let's see all the flowers. The flowers all around. The flowers all around. Hi-ho, the dairy-o, the flowers all around. Excellent. Now sometimes we might have a vegetable garden. Let's eat those vegetables. Fresh vegetables to eat. Fresh vegetables to eat. Hi-ho, the dairy-o, fresh vegetables to eat. Wonderful! We planted a flower and vegetable garden. Now that you know the motions, let's do that song one more time straight through. Remember, we get our shovels out first, we plant the seeds, rain falls, the sun shines bright, the plants grow, and then the flowers all around, and we eat the vegetables. So let's get those shovels ready and sing it one more time. Here we go. The gardener digs the soil. The gardener digs the soil. Hi-ho, the dairy-o, the gardener digs the soil. The gardener plants the seeds. The gardener plants the seeds. Hi-ho, the dairy-o, the gardener plants the seeds. The rain falls on the ground. The rain falls on the ground. Hi-ho, the dairy-o, the rain falls on the ground. The sun shines bright and warm. The sun shines bright and warm. Hi-ho, the dairy-o, the sun shines bright and warm. The plants begin to grow. The plants begin to grow. Hi-ho, the dairy-o, the plants begin to grow. Flowers all around. Flowers all around. Hi-ho, the dairy-o, flowers all around. Fresh vegetables to eat. Fresh vegetables to eat. Hi-ho, the dairy-o, fresh vegetables to eat. Wonderful! Did you eat your vegetables? Shout out what type of vegetables were growing in your garden. Miss Karen had broccoli. I also like broccoli. What's another vegetable you had growing in your garden? Did I hear carrots? Did I hear pumpkins? Did I hear peas? Lots of vegetables can grow in your garden. Great work being the gardener. Let's sing it one more time through. This repetition over and over of these fun rhymes and songs is great for your child's rhythm and rhyming skills. Okay, so keep up that practicing songs over and over, just like those honeybee songs and the fireworks song that we've been singing in the past weeks. It's great for repetition to keep singing those songs with your children. So let's get our shovels out, and here we go. The gardener digs the soil. The gardener digs the soil. Hi ho the dairy-o, the gardener digs the soil. The gardener plants the seeds. The gardener plants the seeds. Hi ho the dairy-o, the gardener plants the seeds. The rain falls on the ground. The rain falls on the ground. Hi ho the dairy-o, the rain falls on the ground. The sun shines bright and warm. The sun shines bright and warm. Hi ho the dairy-o, the sun shines bright and warm. The plants begin to grow. The plants begin to grow. Hi ho the dairy-o, the plants begin to grow. The flowers all around. There's flowers all around. Hi ho the dairy-o, the flowers all around. Fresh vegetables to eat. Fresh vegetables to eat. Hi ho the dairy-o, fresh vegetables to eat. Yay! Wonderful! Great singing, gardeners. Now, when we were singing the last verse, fresh vegetables to eat, I noticed some new vegetables popped up in my garden. Let's take a look. One vegetable that popped up, a special vegetable, were these. What is this? Peas! Yes, peas! And I have a lot of peas. Let's count. This is great for one-to-one matching. So let's count how many pea pod pictures I have. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 peas I have. 1, 2, 3, 4. I have another vegetable in my garden that kept growing as we were singing. I have tell me what vegetable this is? Carrots. Let's count my carrots in the garden. 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 4 carrots also. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wow, I have another vegetable. I must have been singing very loud for those vegetables to hear me. Here's another vegetable I have in my garden. What vegetable is this? Corn, you're right. Let's count how many ears of corn I have. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 ears of corn. Wow, my tray is getting all filled up with vegetables. I have one more vegetable that was growing during our song. Let's check it out. What vegetable is red? Tomato. Yes. Let's count how many tomatoes I have. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wow, I have 4 of each vegetable. Let's read the vegetables again. Peas, carrots, corn, tomatoes. Great counting, gardeners. Now I want to do another activity with these. We did some counting with these vegetables, but now I want to think about the sounds that the words make. When readers start reading, they need to know their letters and the sounds that they make, so they can make that letter recognition connection to sound recognition. So we can say words slowly to hear the letter sounds. So I'm going to say our first vegetable. Let's say it together. I want to hear what sound is at the beginning of my vegetable word. So let's say this vegetable together. Peas. Let's say that again. Peas. What sound do you hear at the beginning? The first sound? P. I hear P, the letter P. So I'm going to stick my letter P right on the first P. Excellent. Let's go on to this one. Let's say this vegetable together. Carrot. I said it slowly. What's the first sound I hear? Carrot. I hear k, k. What letter makes that sound? C or K. But in this word, it is the letter C. Good job, gardeners. I'm going to put it right here on the C. This is great for letter recognition and sound recognition. I have another vegetable, corn. Let's say that word together. Corn. What do you hear first in that word? Corn. I hear k again, like carrot. And it also starts with the letter C. Yes, great job, gardeners. And I have one more vegetable, tomato. What letter makes that first sound? Tomato. T, yes, gardeners, the letter T. So what we practice today is beginning sounds. The first sound I hear in these words: peas, carrots, corn, tomatoes. Great job, gardeners and readers. Keep practicing or ask your child about sounds that they hear in words, the beginning of sounds. This is for preschoolers that are beginning to recognize those sound letter connections. Excellent. Thank you for helping me count and find the beginning sounds to my vegetables. Now, we read a book, we sang songs, we did some counting and some beginning sounds. Now, I want you to go home, or if you're already home, make a cool gardening craft this week. All you need for this, remember, Miss Karen loves simple crafts. And crafts are not just to be creative, but also work on those pre-writing skills with cutting and gluing. We can talk about counting and patterns and colors with toddlers, a very young age, with help, all the way up to preschoolers. So even though crafting is fun maybe for the kids, it's a great way to work on all those skills and language skills, or following directions, or listening to the words that you're using. So keep trying out these simple crafts at home. So I wanted to be like Zinnia in her story, and she made a flower garden. So what you need is some construction paper. I also grabbed some popsicle sticks if you have those at home, or if you're eating popsicles all summer long. I also used in my flower garden some cupcake wrappers. You know those liners that you line cupcakes with? If you have those at home, great. I know they could be found at the dollar store, Walmart, and they're very cheap too. So I grabbed my construction paper and I used orange. I'll flip it over in a second because I don't have all my materials with me. I grabbed my construction paper, any color you want. The first step, what I did is I colored my popsicle sticks. I colored my popsicle sticks green, just with any kind of marker, and I glued them down. If you notice, Miss Karen added leaves to the popsicle sticks to make it look like they were growing in the garden. I glued them down. Gluing is great. I know a lot of kids love gluing. Gluing is great practice for lining up those popsicle sticks right on that glue marking. And then I grabbed my cupcake liners, and they make a pretty cool flower. Look at my flower garden made out of cupcake liners like Zinnia's. Look at that. Now Miss Karen had to flip her cupcake liners inside out so we could see the neat patterns. But if you notice, some are blue, some are white with designs, and I glued them right to the top of my stem. Okay, my popsicle sticks. So there's my flowers, my flower garden. And something else I added in the middle is these two. I added buttons. I found some neat buttons that I had around the house. We want simple, easy materials, and I glued it right in the center. And on these two, I just added dot stickers to make to complete the flower. So there's my flower garden like Zinnia's. Okay, this is great for fine motor skills, those toddler hands, putting those buttons down, peeling the stickers off of the sticker paper and placing them down. all great work for those fingers, and that is a precursor to writing. Okay, when they're getting a little bit older and in preschool and beyond, they're working those hand muscles to begin to write letters and words. So great craft. Make your own flower garden. Take a picture of it and post it on our Fairmont Community Library page, so we could show all the other gardeners what pretty flower gardens you made. If you missed the directions, you could always replay the video to see what materials you need and the step-by-step. So, thank you for joining me, gardeners. We had a great story time reading and singing and crafting and talking about vegetable and flower gardens. We're going to do some more great singing and reading about gardens on Thursday at 9:30. So make sure you join me then. And I'm off. I have to go wash and cut this produce so I can go eat it. Keep reading, Fairmont readers, and I will see you on Thursday. Bye-bye.